मैं तो ऑन કરી રાખી એટલે પતી ગયું. એમને જ્યારે કરવું હોય છે કરે. હજી કોઈ આવ્યું નથી.
Sir, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I'm really happy that you just log in time.
Yeah. As per your instruction. As per your instruction, sir. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good morning, Professor Reddy.
yeah, very good evening, sir. Very good evening. Madam,
I'm Dr. Sandhya Suswaran, Professor, Nittay School of Management, Bangalore. Post completion of MBA from Sri Venkateswara University, with a passion towards psychology, I pursued MSc in Psychology and PG Diploma in Guidance and Counseling from Department of Psychology, Sri Venkateswara University, under the guidance of eminent Professor Sri B. Govinda Reddy sir. I have been working as an academician and a behavioral trainer for more than 18 years now and feel proud to be a part of such an elite association. On behalf of World Congress of Psychologists, I feel pleased to be able to welcome to those of you that have been with us for a long time, and as well as those who are new to this association. On behalf of World Congress of Psychologists, I feel it a privilege to introduce our beloved Professor B. Govinda Reddy, President, World Congress of Psychologists, Sri Venkateswara University, Andhra Pradesh. Professor B.G. Reddy completed his PG and PhD from the Department of Psychology at Sri Venkateswara University, Andhra Pradesh. He joined as lecturer in 1985, promoted as reader and professor of psychology in the same university. Professor B.G. Reddy held the position of director twice in the university. He served in the same university for 30 years, taught B.Ed, M.Ed, and MSc psychology students. He guided 17 PhD and 18 MPhil students, written 14 psychology textbooks to Telugu Academy, Hyderabad. He also published more than 60 research articles in different journals. He is the founder general secretary of Indian Academy of Psychologists, IAOP, founder president of Inspired Professional Psychologist Society of India, IPPSI, founder president of Superannuated Psychologist Society of India, SPSI, founder honorary president of Unemployed Psychologist Society of India, UPSI, and the founder president of World Congress of Psychologists. On the above, 4 psychology associations, many workshops, national and international conferences were organized. In 2020 alone, more than 35 national webinars were organized. Professor B.G. Reddy personally organized more than 55 physical awareness programs in schools, colleges, and universities. As a psychologist and lawyer, he has extensively extended counseling services to more than 1,500 families. To his credit, I now request Professor B.G. Reddy sir to give away the opening remarks.
thank you, Dr. Sandhya, for your nice introduction of me. Now, once again, welcome the today's participants. And here, our treasurer, Professor Suresh sir, Professor Krishnamurthy sir, then the coordinators, and today eminent speakers, Professor Gandharva Joshi from Rajasthan, Professor Baby Shari Madam from Calicut University, Kerala. And today's topic is social issues before pandemic and during pandemic. It is quite an interesting topic. Before 21st century, the social issues or social problems are less. During 21st century, the total world facing many problems, as on today, the whole world is facing a common problem, as you all know. Here, the difference between problem and social problem is a discontentment experienced by same person is called as a problem, and the discontentment experienced by many a people, it becomes a social problem. Here, social problem was first defined, developed in 1941 by sociologists by Fuller and Myers. These social problems or social issues affect many a people in the society. Some of these social issues or problems are, number one, poverty and homeless. 25% of world's population do not have shelter or houses, which in turn affect their health and safety. Coming to the second example, climatic change. More than 800 million people got affected in the form of rains, storms, and also through wildfires. Coming to another example here, overpopulation. Here the statistics says by 2030, the growth of population increases in billions, so there would be much more problem. Then coming to another example, I am quoting to you, immigration stresses. As far as the states are concerned, United States are one of the best country, one of the topmost countries experiencing the immigration problem. Among the US population, more than 13.6% of the population are from outside countries only. Then coming to another example, civil rights and racial discrimination. 90% of African American report that racial discrimination is a major problem in US. Then coming to gender inequality, 50% of Americans, particularly women, feel there is a large income gap between men and women. Then coming to another example, health care availability. 1 in 20 in US citizens, they do not get needed medical care because the cost of the medicines are high. Then another example, childhood obesity. Here 20% of US children are obese. Then another example, I can say bullying. 20% of American students being bullied. Then coming to aging problem, 9% of the total world population are aged in as per the statistics of 2019. So this is a brief social issues I just quoted, and in our midst an eminent speakers are with us. Now I just request Sandhya to go ahead.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of World Congress of Psychologists, I welcome our chief guest, Professor Gandharva Joshi, and would introduce to the guest gathering. Professor Gandharva Joshi from Saurashtra University, Rajkot, Gujarat, India. Professor Joshi is a retired professor of psychology of Saurashtra University, Rajkot. Presently, Professor Joshi is settled at Ahmedabad, his hometown. He has guided 15 PhD scholars and 25 MPhil students, besides hundreds of master dissertations. He has contributed number of research articles in various reputed journals. He has been chaired scientific sessions of the national and international conferences. He is one of the editorial board of research journals like Lectito Journal, J Psychology Global Science and Technology Forum, KRE, Psychological Application and Development for Advances in Psychology and Friends, etc. Now I request Professor Joshi to speak on the topic social issues before pandemic.
Sir, Joshi sir, your noise is not clear.
Now is it clear, sir?
Please
Hello?
go ahead, sir. Sir, please go
Yes, sir.
ahead. Yeah, you kindly just to on your audio and video so that you will be seen on the screen, sir. Kindly.
Yeah, yeah. Please, sir. Please wait.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
ఫీవరే లేదు, జలుబు ఉంది. జలుబు.
Sir, please unmute yourself.
అయ్యో అయ్యో అయ్యో, లైట్గా జలుబు, పెద్ద జలుబు ఏం కాదు.
Hello, Joshi sir. Kindly unmute yourself. Your voice is not coming out.
Yes. ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ?
Sir. My side need a problem.
Tick. તો બે માંથી બે સાથે નથી થતું. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Hello?
you are audible, sir. Yeah, you are audible.
Audible.
Yeah, please proceed.
And video is also there, na, sir?
Yeah, it is there.
Okay, okay, sir. Sorry, sir.
No problem.
Yeah. So I am very thankful to Professor Reddy for giving me this opportunity. Now, very briefly, I have been given 10-15 minutes, and the topic which I am assigned is very vast. So even though I will try to address sincerely to speak on this topic, the topic is the social issues before pandemic. As such, when I was thinking about this topic, I was feeling that the social issues are stretched in a bad manner even after pandemic. But I would speak before the pandemic, the major social issues before India. There are 6 major social issues of India, and my address will cover these 6 social issues. These are the poverty, unemployment, illiteracy, the caste system, gender violence, and communalizing. An individual problem is one that affects only particular individual or group. On the other hand, public issues are those faced by society as a whole. A social issue is when a situation is deemed less than the social ideal. It must result in unfavorable circumstances that can only be handled collectively. India has undergone many changes in the last decades. Social change brings with it a new set of circumstances wherein an otherwise overlooked issue might be given importance. Many scholars have identified fundamental difference between the causes and consequences of issues experienced the rural and urban sectors. The rural sector have 5 identified characteristics. Firstly, people are either directly or indirectly dependent upon agriculture. Next, the upper caste citizens are the largest landholders. Thirdly, the roles and values of rural people are traditional. Also, the farmers receive inadequate compensation for their hard work. Finally, people are scattered in rural areas as compared to urban cities. On the other hand, the urban sector is characterized by the concentration of large populations in small areas. This results in many issues such as slums, high crime rates, pollution, drug abuses, and unemployment. Poverty can be defined as the inability to secure the minimum standard of living appropriate to society according to the Planning Commission. 22% of India's population lived below the poverty line in 2012. Within the Indian context, many unique causes of poverty have been identified. Second issue is unemployment. Unemployment has often been described as the most significant social issue in society. This is because an individual is dependent on their work for both their livelihood and their status. Sociologically, unemployment is defined as the inability to find remunerative work in the face of both potential and desire to earn. The 3 elements of unemployment are the individual must be capable, willing, and making an effort to be gainfully employed. The causes of unemployment. Sociologists have suggested that unemployment is a result of both economic and social factors. India is a large country in area. It is roughly 2.4% of total areas of the world. But the percentage of the world's population it has is as per census of 2011 and then after, India's population is now 126 million. With such a huge population, some economic problems have developed. These are the problems of unemployment, inflation, poverty, and price rise. A large section of our population lives under the poverty line. There is huge unemployment, inflation, and price rise has added to the problem. With a significant number of people living below the poverty line, its impact on socio-economically marginal families in the form of poor quality of life, disease, low literacy, malnutrition, and child labor becomes a serious concern. Nearly a quarter of population that belongs to the scheduled category is almost entirely below poverty line. Poverty is a fundamental problem, hindering development objectives. Unemployment is a situation where an able-bodied person willing to work fails to find a job to earn a living. Chronic unemployment and the consequent poverty are responsible for the erosion of human values. Illiteracy is again a social issue. As mentioned in the earlier, illiteracy is major barrier to development since it results in unskilled labor. Illiteracy refers to any person who cannot read and write with understanding in a recognized Indian language. All over India, Kerala has the highest literacy rate and Bihar is the lowest. Then the next issue before India is caste system. The Indian caste system is based on the cultural features of hierarchy, pollution, and purity. It subscribes to the doctrines of karma and dharma. The Indian government introduced the category of scheduled caste to the constitution in 1935. Currently, SCs constitute around 16% of Indian population. The main issues faced by the elites are those of untouchability, exploitation, exclusion from religious and educational institutions, and social discrimination. Then the next issue is gender violence. Women have always been victims of exploitation and violence within the Indian subcontinent. Violence against women consists of criminal, domestic, and social violence. Criminal violence consists of rape, murder, female foeticide, and abduction. Domestic violence includes wife battering, dowry deaths, and sexual violence. Social violence comprises eve teasing, inheritance laws, favoring men, etc. Communalism is also a social issue of India. Communalism refers to attempts to overemphasize the importance of religious identity and stimulate communal violence between different religious groups. Within India, tensions between Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs have been present since the India-Pakistan partition. Muslims, Sikhs, and other religious minorities are protected by the Indian Constitution under provisions of justice, tolerance, equality, and freedom. Despite these provisions, communal violence has been a part of India since independence. The recent case of in a last before few years, the Babri Masjid and associated riots is a popular example of religious discord. Violence can take many forms of mass mobilization, insurgency, and riots. Usually, communal violence is more politically motivated than fueled by religion. Hindu-Muslim riots in various states led to more than 100 deaths. There are other issues, social issues of India, which is dowry system, which needs to be categorically emphasized. The practice of dowry is one of the worst social practices that has affected our culture. In independent India, one of the landmark legislations in the passing of the Dowry Prohibition Act in 1961 by the government of India. Despite the fact that the practice of both giving as well as accepting dowry is banned by law and such acts are punishable offenses. The system is so thoroughly embedded in our culture that it continues unabated. Whether it is rural or urban area, the blatant violation of this law is rampant. Not only dowry deaths, even most of the acts of domestic violence against women, including psychological as well as physical torture, are related to matters of dowry. Then the current social issue is a substance and abuse addiction. The habitual use of or dependence on harmful substances like liquor, alcoholic drinks, tobacco, bidi, cigarette, drugs, called substance abuse or addiction. As a range of addictive substances continues to expand, more and more persons, particularly in the younger age group, get addicted. There are many factors that are responsible for pushing the young as well as adults into the trap of substance abuse. These factors include peer pressure, non-conducive family environment, and stress. Smoking is a habit which is very harmful to health, even more than drinking. Not only does it harm the smokers themselves, but also the people around them who are affected by the smoke in the atmosphere. Then there are issues related to the elderly. The world population is aging globally. The age were 8% in 1950, 10% in 2000, and estimated to increase 20% in 2050. In India, the number of elder persons was 5.8%. In 1991, this figure increased to 6.7. With the joint family breaking down, especially in the urban areas where nuclear families are the trend, the aged are increasingly becoming unwelcome members in their own families. Community support base to the aged is assuming greater importance. Our culture to respect elders should be again embedded in young generation so that the aged can maintain their self-respect. Remember, the elderly people should be respected. They have looked after you when they were younger, and now it is your turn to pay back. So you must look after and serve your old grandparents. Now there are problems of children in India. A large number of children, because of poverty, do not go to school or are withdrawn from schools before they complete their elementary education and are forced to start working at a young and tender age in factories, brick kilns, restaurants, hotels, shops, etc. These hampers their growth physically, mentally, and emotionally. They grow with hatred and agony and fail to become worthy citizens of the nation. So with this, I hope I have covered major social issues of India before pandemic. With this, I complete my address. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful information. Now I would like to welcome our speaker for now, the present session, Professor Baby Shari. Professor Baby Shari is currently working in the University of Calicut for the last 23 years. Professor Baby Shari served in different capacities like Director of Research, Senate Member, PG Board of Studies Chairman, and has published more than 50 plus articles in reputed journals. Professor Baby Shari has worked as on one of the elated book on edited book on school psychology and contributed numerous chapters to various books. Professor Shari has interest in the areas on training methods, adolescent psychology, and gender. She is also a resource person in NCERT, SCERT, SSA, UGC, HRDC, KILA, etc. She has won the prestigious Innovative Research Award of IAAP in 2019 and Best Extension Work Award of IAAP in 2017. With this brief introduction, I now request our speaker to take over the session and deliver the speech on the present issues.
Distinguished office bearers of the organization World Congress of Psychologists. Hope I am audible.
You are audible, madam.
Yeah. I'm very happy to share some of the ideas within a very short duration, especially to colleagues of psychology area. Today I'm talking about social issues itself, but during pandemic. The pandemic itself is becoming or already become a social issue. As psychologists, we usually concentrate upon individuals and address individual issues or work for the well-being of individuals. But when we'll be considering society, usually we consider individual and consider it as individual in society. Unlike that, when some people are facing issue and the number is much more than we can imagine, a country will be addressing it as a social problem. It was like that. Joshi sir was talking about the social issues in detail. As we all know, the social problems has an injurious effect on the society, and the consequences will be affected by the mass. So that the reports on such kinds of issues, studies, and the statistics, all these things are too high. Accordingly, when we think about the social issues that people face during pandemic, we can understand that if we can stay calm, if we can sit like this, the truth is nothing but our close relatives are not in danger at present. We have a confidence that a salary will come or some amount is there in our bank accounts. It is only because of that we can stay calm. But it is not the state, it is not the status for many in the country or many in the world. In that kind of a situation, we are also facing restrictions, majorly movement restriction, so that the economic transactions are highly getting affected. In that kind of a condition, we can expect that it will be leading to poverty or strengthening of poverty. And we psychologists cannot just ignore that or just close our eyes and say that things are over. No, we had seen cases of people who are migrating, interstate travel without any transportation facilities. People are traveling, walking, irrespective of the control of the police or national advisors, just because they can't think about their death in another state without meeting their relatives. Even then, I know the reports are saying that they are not going to places by thinking that it will be so much supportive and happy when they are reaching to their relatives. Whatever they have, he has been carried in some sacks. Sometimes very young children are walking along with them. They don't even have chapels in their feet. We had even seen that young girl who had taken her father kilometers and kilometers, more than 100 kilometers in her bicycle. And we just cannot sit quiet by seeing all those things. People who are sleeping, and a train accident was also being reported toward us. We had seen a mother who was crying in the summer at Delhi by saying that her son passed away and she cannot reach there. What happened to the empathy of psychologists? We just have to look into oneself and see, is it okay to say we are safe? No. We just have to extend our observation to the society and see how severe the problems are uh, coming to, and also to see what the psychologist can do in that kind of a situation. Directly, I can say that the situation in Kerala are slightly different because the government was addressing the state-related issues in a better way. That doesn't mean that the nation as such can be considered as a cross-section from Kerala. In a wider level, the situation is very, very complex. We can see that just by considering the youth or adolescents, we know that in Kerala setup, majority of them are coming to campuses and now they are away. It is not the case for everybody of that age considering the nation. But still, when we are teachers, we can see that we are trying to see somehow the syllabus have to be transacted through online education. We are thinking about learning platforms or other kinds of interactive modes like Google Meet or Zoom, and taking practices of like that. But is that the syllabus the youth are missing? No, they are directly missing their peers. When coming to a college campus, we can say that only a cream layer is coming to college campus, and a still other layer is coming to the university campuses where we meet students and youth directly. Even those people, first they come and they'll say that I have some adjustment problems. What is the adjustment problem? They are understanding many of the social issues like gender discrimination or caste system and other kinds of issues in the society, and understand that we are also part of that. And they are also trying to see how far they are affected and trying to resist or react to the society. And all those people are back to their home. And many reports from the universities are saying that when the universities were reopening, students are not coming to hostel. They say that they have already married. They are carrying, or the proposals are not according to their own selection and choices. What happens at home? Can we say that these adolescents and youth are safe at home than the educational institution? Many a time we just have to say, no, it is not like that. So what really happens to those who are not coming to academic sector? The condition are still worse. In youth, we can say that they'll be having a lot of struggling kind of situation and facing different frustrations just because they are not able to earn properly, they cannot find their identity properly and lead a life properly and things like that. And in Kerala, in Indian setup, we can also see that, as Professor Joshi was talking about, when we think about community-based discrimination or caste-based discrimination and all, of course, we just have to find certain kinds of methods from our leaders so as to see that we are addressing it somehow. But what is really happening when we say that in developed countries, people are thinking about, shall we think about some kind of fuel other than petrol, or can we think about driving a vehicle without the driver, or think about how we can send a satellite and find out certain kinds of new technologies for life, or trying to see whether there is any place in the space so as to so the human beings can go over there and think about a new entity. What is happening to us? Is it okay to say that even the political leaders or ministers are concentrating upon this communalism and trying to spread it again and again, going back to rituals and going back to propagate things of that sort? uh, we just have to look at us only. We don't have to look at somewhere else. We just have to see how far we are ready enough to think about a scheduled caste people who can be accepted to us. In what level that can be done? Only up to your gate, or only up to your dining room, or up to your bedroom and things like that. We can see that no, things of that sort are not happening in that level. Many a time that discrimination can be seen in terms of statistics, even in national institutes or places like IIT and all. When we think about the representation of caste over different organizational structure, it could be found that scheduled caste people are there, but that is very low in statistics. And when the statistics is high, that is to the supers or scavengers or lower grade positions alone. So I am telling that, when the youth problem is considered, when they are in job or seeking job, the pandemic conditions are worsening their poverty. Naturally, as the social problems are interconnected, we can directly see the effects, just as I told you, in terms of marriage, in terms of dowry system, in terms of usage of substances and things like that. All such things are found to be increasing only. So what we have to think about is, we just have to look into oneself and see how far we are sensitive to these kinds of issues, how far we are ready to empathize with the situation, and how far we address it as a social problem, not like an individual problem. Suppose a very gentleman is deciding that, a young gentleman is deciding that I am not coming to a dowry system, or I am not harassing anybody and things like that. That is only an individual case. When that comes to a statistics or a bigger number, something that can be contributed by one person is so minimum, so that we just have to think about how such kind of strategies can be enhanced, and that can be incorporated by people in general, so that it is a time for psychologists not to sit. We just have to stand from our sitting position. We just have to move to people and have to identify these kinds of issues around us, and has to think about new kinds of interventions, which is much extended than our therapies. Like, it has to be awareness program, it has to be the protection of other artistic methods so as to address people. It has to be some kind of new strategies to address mass in general, and has to propagate some kind of psychological intervention so as to address the social issues in general. The social problems are highly increasing its complexity, increasing in number, so that the psychological intervention system also has to be changed so as to address all these things. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Bebishari, for sharing with us your perspectives on understanding the social issues during pandemic. We thank you. Now the forum is open for discussion.
This is Professor Krishnamurthy. During pandemic, more of isolation issues are coming up. Naming them as victims and keeping them away. This quarantine and other things, they are driving into a lot of social problems. We have seen violences coming up because of the miscommunication that goes on. This is what I have seen as an issue that has to be addressed. Now it has come down with regard to the black marketing and other things is another issue.
In connection with that, I would like to point out one matter. When we were dealing with people in CFLTC, First Line Treatment Center, it could be found that many old people who came over there, they came without even taking enough dress, enough medicines they have already taken. Some people, it was so strange to see that some people even said that I will die for sure. So somebody asked why you are saying that. I came in a ambulance on a Tuesday, and if somebody is entering into an ambulance in a Tuesday on a Tuesday, that person will die. So we don't even know that such kinds of some misconceptions and stigmas are there, and even that will be affecting the case so as to enhance their condition. And sometimes these people also has got certain kinds of other belief system, like they were carrying children to this treatment center. And when somebody asked why you are carrying children, so no, they will be having immunity, so that it's okay to carry them. Still others say that, it is not a confident situation for me to entrust my baby to my husband. Even things of like that. So as Professor Mukti was saying, these kinds of situations are much more than that we see from outside.
Yes, madam. That is what we see as a social stigma, very much affecting the social behavior.
Any points to add on?
Yeah, Professor Suresh, sir.
Yes,
Will you
sir.
please- yeah, kindly.
Yeah. So during pandemic, there are many more social issues that we can talk. Earlier, Indian culture used to be such that you used to invite people to your house, whereas now you do not want people to come to your house. You do not want to visit anybody, whether it is a marriage, whether it is a death, etc. And even when there is a marriage in a family, the relations, the friends are anxious that they may be invited, whether they have to go or whether not to go, etc. So that way, what has happened is already the materialistic orientation has divided people. Now Corona has kept people away from each other much more. On the one side, that is a time when you need social support, but that is a time when it is not available. So that way, I think we'll have to find a way where people can be given proper support at the time of need. Maybe in future, based on our experiences, we must be able to evolve certain methods to address the social issues. Thank you, sir.
Sometimes it was reported that the number of antisocial activities during pandemic are low in number. That doesn't mean that that is the reality. The number of reports may be low in number, but actual cases will be much more than that. Related with sexual abuse and this women harassment and things like that, actual cases will be much more than what is being reported. And that is found to be many a time high.
Yeah, probably you
Like
are
in
right. Corona is the current issue now, so all the media focus on that. whereas those issues are routine issues. So as a result, they have gone to the background. Probably you are right.
Yes, sir. But unlike the routine pattern, when people are idle at home and will be wandering in the neighborhood alone, the chances for having people in a private situation and finding a victim and having such kinds of harassment is very high. And the reports from women, they say that actually sometimes they'll be having household related work as a routine pattern, but when men are at home and they will be demanding things, the situation is much different.
Yes, Professor Sudhakar Reddy, sir. Sudhakar Reddy. Any more from participants?
Yes, I am Vimala, sir. Dr. Vimala.
Yeah, please.
Yes. I feel that the phobia of corona, the phobia that is, most of the people are feeling that they may get, so they are very much apprehend and they don't want to meet anybody. They don't want to talk with anybody. They feel that even talking with other person, even meeting other people, all these, they became more obsessed because of this, and this is creating a lot of stress and anxiety among the people. This is one of the psychological problem. What I can say that it is coronaphobia. You can live like that. This is more prevalent among many people. Many people, it is creating anxiety, and the death of so many, the news, the death of so many people, especially in the second wave, and the death of their close people with whom they are having lot of association and they are not able to attend or see them. All these are the things which are creating lot of stress and anxiety and obsession among the people. So of course, many of them are coming up soon, but there are many regarding.
Yes,
Of course, we also have to think about the fact that the number of death of middle age is increasing in the second wave. And similarly, doctors also had said that sometimes in the third wave, we may expect the death of young people, so that people are also a little bit panic. That kind of situation is also there. And I feel like psychologists also have to get some kind of health related awareness so as to lead and guide people of or clients of this sort. Some people who simply have this kind of phobia, we just have to understand fact that many a time that happens when there is comorbid features, so that immunity and health status of people are important. Like people might think that unless and until I have affected by COVID, I don't have to take that much precaution on that. Of course, there is importance on precaution. The health aspect is important, health status is important, and also immunity is important. So, especially by considering the youth and middle-aged and also old age, what we have to concentrate at present is on the balanced diet. When we are communicating with public, when we say balanced diet, people may not understand it properly when the common man or layman will be concerned. So we usually use the method like it should have cereals or some rooters. It will be concentrating upon carbohydrate. We just say that if you are a non-vegetarian, it is okay. If you are not a non-vegetarian, you should take pulses. Only then the protein have to be compensated. Then we'll say you should take some kind of vegetable. Good if it is a leafy vegetable. Take some fruit that available from the nearby locality. So when all these elements will come together, it will be a balanced diet. So such kinds of communication we usually use when talking about things other than talking about vitamins and other minerals and things like that. When we say intake of water, psychologists should not advise anybody to take so much water. When the person has got some kind of difficulty with their breathing, with their functioning of liver, heart, or kidney, we should not ask them to or suggest them to take enough water. They have to consult a physician, and then only the water quantity can be advised. If the person is otherwise is very healthy, we can say that drinking enough water will be good. So usually when these COVID related advices are there, people are concerned about water intake and will be taking so much water, and that won't be advisable with people who has difficulty with these vital organs. Then another aspect is exercise that is highly being affected. Especially people who are working class and also that white collar job also.
Sir, I'm Dr. Sudhakar Reddy.
Please, sir. Please, sir.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are audible, sir.
Thank you, Baby Chari Madam. You have beautifully explained about the adolescence and then gender discrimination and substance abuse, and during the pandemic time, the domestic violence and so many problems you have nicely narrated. And you have beautifully said about the water intoxication also. So if you take more water, it leads to water intoxication. So that can be prevented by taking some salt in the water. And that becomes like a saline, normal saline. Madam, I would like to learn from you that I have observed many people died due to heart attack during pandemic, maybe due to lockdown or always sedentary life and like that. And a lot of stress, they expressed to me. I have a lot of stress. I have memories of my childhood. All my negative feelings cropped up in my heart. And then they have died due to heart attack. So there's one thing, how we can prevent that. Second thing is domestic violence, because there was no other work, and the wife and husband, they scored. They have no time to quarrel. No, there's a lot of time to quarrel. Domestic violence, divorces occurred. And nutrition, as you said, they should take balanced diet, and we can teach them. I would like to learn from Baby Chari Madam what exact psychological methods you would like to adopt to combat this situation during the lockdown period or during the pandemic period. Please, Madam.
Yeah, first question, I like that very much because my research area was on heart patients. But heart disease is not a single disease. No, it is a very vast area, a lot of causes, a lot of complexities and things like that. Especially psychologists usually talk about coronary artery disease, because where the arteries will be having fat deposition, and that lead to certain kinds of complexities and difficulties with heart function. So we know that coronary artery disease is happening because of the fat deposition inside the artery, and coronary artery is also getting affected out of it. Why this fat deposition? Where there, psychologist has got a different explanation. The earlier studies talk about a type A, type B personality and all, but recent studies says that especially stress and hostility is affecting our body system too much. When we are experiencing stress, when we are having hostility, when we feel an anger toward another person, what happens in the body is our sympathetic arousal will be taking place. And when that become a habit, like aggression is something of course needed. We can We can safeguard ourselves and protect our body only when we have aggression. So aggression is something very necessary for body, or very necessary for our human existence. But when anger and hostility become a habit, people has to elevate their sympathetic function, so that the heart function has to be increased, breathing has to be enhanced, all the hormonal secretions, stress-related hormonal secretion will be there.
Yes.
So those kinds of functions are in need of high energy.
Yes, madam.
So body get a wrong message that this person is in need of high energy, so that energy has to be preserved. That is a psychological reason behind fat deposition, and that is one of the reason alone. So studies also say it has got certain kinds of practice, like the hereditary factors work on that. Like if father has got heart disease, son also will be having heart disease, and grandchild also has. So why that happens? Why they become hypertensive? That is there continuing in the family. Sometimes the lifestyle itself may be so wrong, so that the wrong lifestyle will be practiced. Even our preference for salt. If the salt concentration is high for our food, and that is a system like that. If a daughter-in-law is coming and she is coming to a low salt diet, that won't be accepted. Slowly, she also will be trained to this kind of a system and say that this is the style of my mother. So in families also, certain kinds of strategies or lifestyles are practiced. And if there is a wrong lifestyle, if there is a practice of these kinds of habits and all, like as I said, the stress and high stress and high hostility things, that will be contributing for the fat deposit and leading to heart disease. So we can say that the pandemic is the only reason. Pandemic is a condition where the person is stress prone or hostility prone, and this condition will be enhancing the situation and can be leading to. We can say that this will be the onset. If a situational factor is there, we can just say that this will work like a catalyst only. It cannot start a reaction or stop a reaction. If an ongoing reaction is there, it can be enhanced only or decelerated only. So that kind of effect only can be talk about the heart disease. So we can say that if heart disease is there, or a tendency for hypertension or diabetes already there as a comorbid feature, that will be affecting the condition. Recent study says that when this virus will be coming to the body will be reacting, and some elements will be made in the body, and it is because of the deposits of that we will be having different kinds of symptoms. Like when that will be deposited in throat, and that is there in different part of the body, we'll be having body ache, throat pain and things like that. But in the second level of that illness, the virus itself is a protein. The protein is corona protein is almost similar to some proteins inside the body. So body thinks even after the production of the antibody, body think as if this is a new material and this has to be reacted upon. So that in the second stage, it is just like an autoimmune disease, so that worsening of the condition also can be expected. So when this heart function is poor, it will be easily affecting and worsening the condition, and will become dangerous. So new studies also point out things like that. And your second question is a very complex one, which, like as I said, that when we say individual case, when a client will be coming to us and saying that we have a dowry related issue, that is an individual issue for a psychologist. But when we think about the dowry system in the society, we can do anything now. So the only thing that we can do is think about some kind of social interventions where the education will be having an effect, women education will be having an effect, gender related interventions will be having an effect. Then a limiting number of children will be having an effect. If women employment are being promoted, it will be having an effect. So when women will be having some kind of earning in their hand, whatever they say will be having a voice. They will be having some power. And we also say that women have to communicate to their fellow beings, like-minded people. They just have to form a networking and feel the power they have and come out of the family without thinking that the boundary wall of the house is not the boundary wall of a lady.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, only
Mm.
like that.
Good,
When I say
madam.
where that comes to the matter of psychologists, we just have to conduct a lot of researches into that area. We have to think about the projects that we can do, not simply research projects, the implementation projects. We have to think about that, how it has to come to the grassroots level of the society. Like we say, we teach about community psychology, but we may not train children to go to community and work there. The psychologists, what psychologists can do in a police station, what psychologists can do in a daycare center with Kudumbashree units or like that, those can be thought about, so that our skill has to be used. And thirdly, the most important aspect is we just have to think about how our attitude has to be changed so as to address the social issues.
Oh, yes, madam. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Thank you,
madam.
madam.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for your nice clarification. Then in our midst, Professor Shivkumar Shetty from Gulbarga University is there. Sir, Professor Shetty, sir. Hello, Professor Shivkumar Shetty. Okay. Any more from audience? Then
good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, please.
Good evening, sir. I'm Sanjeev Kumar Talari.
Oh, wonderful.
Feeling very pleasure to see you. Long gap. I'm the student of Govind Reddy, sir.
Yes. Very nice to see you again.
Good evening, the rest of the members who are attending this workshop. So I want to add few points here.
Please.
One thing is, and whatever ma'am said just now regarding the prevention of corona fear in individuals. Apart from that, the problem today, what I observed in my surroundings, people are gradually moving from the state of health consciousness to health mania. That is a major issue I identified from my observation. And whatever they hear in news media, whatever they received information from nearby sources, and they're trying to apply it to their personal nature, their personal life. That's a major issue, what I found, because biology is very unique, ma'am. Actually, I cannot use the measurements of other person's cloth to tailor my cloth. That's a problem. And in recent of the times, what is happening, and everybody are trying to act as an MBBS doctor by getting information through social media or Google searchings. And what is happening, they want to prove their intelligence in front of the other. So all these type of efforts are making a kind of confusion in the society. People are very confused what to listen, what not to listen, because already they are having that fear factor in their mind regarding corona. So what I have opinion, the first and foremost step every individual have to take now, or else even as an individual, what I'm practicing, quarantine of negative thoughts is the most important step required for all individuals in the society. So just we're doing quarantine of a body which is affected with corona for 14 days. And better, we suggest all the individuals to quarantine of negative thoughts also. Because listening to all these stories surrounded by the society will make people to become hypochondriacal. They apply everything they listen to their personal biology, and they are again becoming so deep. They are entering into so deeper stress. This is a very simple technique. The simple technique is just quarantine of negative thoughts. Second one is identifying the difference between health mania to health consciousness. So being health consciousness is very important, but people are gradually becoming health mania. Just now, ma'am said about water, taking water and taking protein food. These are all common things in our life, day-to-day life. You cannot maintain the balanced diet regularly because one day it will be 60%, another day it will be 120%. But on an average, every individual is very fantastic in taking the diet. But when we focus more on preaching something about diet or taking water, something which is very common factor in individual's life, people are taking everything into that, what is called, they're magnifying each and every simple concept in life, and they're becoming so worried about it. So this is the simple fact I identified in my observation. And now the question is, how can we educate people around us not to be so serious about these simple things in life? Because every individual is very different from their biology. And my biology cannot be the same with the others' biology. So whatever fit to my biology, I cannot recommend to your biology. That's a problem. But this thing, and are making everything common. And see, as might is only 5.3, 2.5 liter water is more than enough to me. I know, even I check my urine color, is that I increase or decrease my water content. But these are all scientific things which a common person cannot understand. Whereas when we dump all these things into the society becoming so fearful by adopting that health mania in their life. So this is my personal opinion, and I request Baby ma'am to reflect on this. Thank you.
Yeah, just like in the case of psychologists also, doctors also will be addressing individual cases. Only in terms of the community health, they will be addressing the huge mass and will be giving suggestions, directions, and trying for awareness and things like that. Like a cardiologist may not be having a general advice for the patient. When we'll be going there as a patient, they will be providing us individualized advices, isn't it? So in this kind of a situation, in today's discussion, we are thinking about the social problem, because the kind of things that you had observed is not the case of a single person. It is there for the mass. It is there for the huge number of people. So we can see extremes in the behavior. Like there are people who are simply denying the condition and saying that, okay, nothing will be happening for me. I'm a good person. I'm kind at heart. So that corona will be affecting me. People will comment like that. And even psychologists are there who, I can say the fraud psychologists, who will be providing information that you have enough number of positive health feeling, positive mentality, so that corona won't be affecting you. There are people who advise like that. We cannot say that when a virus will be attacking you, it will be affecting you on the basis of your immunity alone. If you have an acquired immunity, sometimes that will be helping you to prevent the situation. If your body is so high in immunity, the virus will be affecting you so that symptoms may be very less, so that you can manage the situation. If the body has got low immunity, if the body has got comorbid features, that is a very fruitful land for the virus to attack, so that the antibodies may not be enough to win in the attack, so that a death can be expected. So that is the dangerous condition. So it will be as per the health of the person only, the fight will be coming to a success. So this cannot be just predicted by a psychologist just by a look. Even for a doctor, they say that we can only think about the measures and predict about, make a prediction about the health. A study was conducted in Calicut Medical College long before. They had taken people who has got very long-lasting life, that is, those who had lived more than 100 years. They had selected another group where people died in their 50s and 60s, and had made a comparison. What was the major difference? And the difference was in their food style, their eating style. It was then they identified the fact that how they are eating. They were taking balanced diet 3 times a day. And without knowing that that is a balanced diet, they don't have an awareness that that is a balanced diet. They said that somehow we received that kind of food and we had, And that was why, that may be because they say that. And the kind of illness history in their cases was very low. So many a time I advise psychologists also to take this balanced diet, because we just have to be healthy, we just have to be happy, we just have to interact with people and things like that only when we have health. Okay, so only thing what we can do upon our health is taking good diet and taking good exercise. The body system that we have is not made to sit somewhere, but maybe because of our style of life, we are sitting, we are having a sedentary life, and naturally lifestyle illnesses can be expected. And if there is a lifestyle illness during this pandemic, that will be worsening the condition, so that will be dangerous. So another thing, as you had pointed out, is that people will be giving advices like, you take enough ginger, pepper, or turmeric, or eat lemon as such, so that will be protecting you from things. And they will be suggesting a number of other kinds of spices and all. Don't think that the doctors are fools. There are good scientists in medicine, and that is one of the topmost supported area of the research. So that they are conducting research on that. If at all there were something specific to that, the doctors will be giving advices to us, not the layman. Okay, so we don't have to listen to these layman advices, and that awareness is also necessary so as to address the situation, as Sanjeev had pointed out. When we'll be addressing people, layman, we also have to make them precautious to these unscientific advices too. So that is the thing. And as you have said that quarantine is not simply quarantine in terms of physical aspect alone, we also have to take into consideration these kinds of social aspects too.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Then one more. There is an enormous Professor Janardhan Reddy sir is from Ambedkar Open University, Hyderabad. Sir, would you like to react? Janardhan Reddy sir. Okay. Then I request, I think no more questions from our participant side. Now, I am requesting Dr. Chinni Simon to say vote of thanks by covering the entire program. And before her vote of thanks, I am privileged to thank today's speakers, Professor Gandharva Joshi from Rajasthan, for his meticulous lecture given to us, and particularly Madam Baby Shari, though now she is so busy because their university is going for NAC accreditation, so she is the coordinator for everything. And in spite of her busy schedule, so today she just participated, and she has given very good lecture, as well as she has answered so nicely to all the clarifications or questions posed by our participants. Now, once again, thanks to the two eminent speakers who have participated today. And now I request Dr. Chinni Simon to propose vote of thanks. Kindly, Dr. Chinni Simon.
Yes, sir, I'm here. Good evening to everybody. I'm Dr. Chinni Simon from Guntur, Andhra Pradesh. I have completed my PhD with the topic dyscalculia among primary school children, guided by Dr. B.G. Reddy from SV University, Tirupati. At present, I am working as a maths assistant in a government school in Rantachintala Mandal in a rural area of Guntur district. I have been also working as a state resource person, giving in-service trainings to school teachers and involved in module writing, etc. Now, I feel it blessed and privileged to be one of the coordinators of today's international webinar with the topic social issues before and during pandemic. On behalf of the World Congress of Psychologists, I would like to extend my thanks for the core group, Anupama, who is hosting this program, President Professor B.G. Reddy Garu, Secretary Professor R. Subhashini Madam, and Treasurer Professor V. Suresh Garu, and all the coordinators, especially today's coordinator, Dr. Sandhya, for their wonderful planning and execution of this webinar. In his presidential address, Dr. B.G. Reddy Garu has mentioned about the common social problems like poverty, homelessness, climatic changes, overpopulation, immigration, gender inequality, and medical facilities and aging problems, etc., which are prevailing in this society in our country during and even before pandemic. He had listed out so many social problems. Thank you very much, sir, for leading us into session by listing out those social problems. I would like to extend my thanks to our speaker today, eminent and learned speaker, Professor Gandharva Joshi from Saurashtra University, Rajkot. He had mentioned major social issues before pandemic, saying that poverty, which is a fundamental problem in our country, wherein more than 90% of the population are living in below poverty line. He has also said that unemployment is the most significant social issue in our society, where many of the learned scholars are deprived of their employment. As a result, they are also undergoing so many psychological issues. Illiteracy, another major barrier to development. Then casteism, which is prevalent in our country, where untouchability, exploitation, and exclusion from religious institutions, etc. He also spoke of gender violence, wherein he made a special mention about women violence, domestic violence, and social violence, and communalism, which overemphasized the importance of religious practices. He said it is a very, very barrier to our development. He also spoke of dowry system and the leading social issues like smoking and alcohol addiction, which leads to family problems and stress. Sir, your session was very, very informative, and thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Then I would like to thank our eminent and learned speaker, Professor Baby Shari ma'am from the University of Calicut. She said, pandemic itself is a social issue at present, which is very, very true. And economic sufficiency may be making us stay at peace. But as psychologists, we cannot sit quiet when we look at or think of migrating people and their problems of journey with their children without proper facilities of transport. Your speech was very, very thought-provoking and enriching, ma'am. You also spoke about missing of peer relationships due to online teaching during this pandemic. While developed countries could think of other developmental issues like replacing petrol with other fuel, life in other planets, or driving vehicles without driver, etc., our country is still thinking of communalism, traditional practices, and clinging on to my home, my people, my caste, etc. Thank you very much for agitating the psychologists to get into the people or into the society and address them and propagate psychosocial issues through intervention. Thank you very much, madam, for giving us very thought-provoking and enriching speech. It is really marvelous. I also would like to thank Professor Krishnamurthy, Professor V. Suresh, Dr. Vimala, Dr. Sudhakar Reddy, Sanjeev, for sharing their opinions and making some suggestions regarding social issues. Once again, I would like to extend my thanks for giving me this opportunity. And at the same time, I would like to thank each and every participant for spending your valuable time with us. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you very much. We will be meeting on 21st.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Hello, sir. Joshi, sir. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Madam, Baby Shari, madam, thank you once again.
Thank you, Reddy sir.
Yeah, thank you, madam. Thank you. Thank you. Anupama? Anupama?
Thank you, sir. Good day. Good day of you.
Yeah, Sanjeev Kumar. Okay, fine. You just be with us.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Sure, sir. I'll be there for you.
Right. So kind of. Yeah, right.
Thank you, sir.
Right.
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity given.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sandhya, for your nice, timely help, and will be with us for all the programs in the coming days too. Yeah.
Sure, sir. It will be a pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor Krishnamurthy, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think it's time to leave.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Good night.
Yeah, good night.
సార్ గుడ్ నైట్.
గుడ్ నైట్.
సార్ చెప్పండి, ఎలా ఉన్నారు?
బాగున్నా. అట్లీస్ట్ ఈ విధంగానైనా మాట్లాడుకోవచ్చు కదా.
అదే
హైదరాబాద్ లోనే ఉన్నావా? హైదరాబాద్ లో.
అవును సార్, హైదరాబాద్ సండే ఆర్ మండే వస్తున్నా.
ఓకే. థ్యాంక్స్. రోజు అటెండ్ గా.
షూర్.
పేర్లన్నీ నమోదు అవుతాయి, దీంట్లో రికార్డ్ అవుతాయి.
ఓకే.
సో బాగానే ఉంటాయి, కానీ చాలా బాగుంటది. కలుద్దాం. పిల్లలు బాగున్నారా?
బాగున్నారు.
వెరీ గుడ్. కలుద్దాం మళ్ళీ. రైట్, కలుద్దాం.
అట్లాగే మంచిది.